Hey, everybody, welcome. I am excited today because I want to talk to you about 5 mindset shifts that are absolutely paramount in order for you to be able to have that 6 figure year in 2022. My name is Heather Hyman. I'm the founder and owner of Sweet Tea Social Marketing, the podcast Business Jesus Sweet Tea. And what I absolutely love doing is coming alongside Kingdom CEOs and business owners just like yourself that are in business that want to be able to take their business to the next level. You want to be able to thrive using smart social media marketing practices and strategies. And today I'm going to go over with you the top 5 things that I think are so critical as it relates to your mindset in order for you to have that 6 figure year. Now, I also believe if you already are at 6 figures in your business, that you can take these practices and these suggestions that I'm going to share with you today, and you can absolutely realize that there is money that you are possibly leaving on the table, and that you can absolutely increase and elevate your financial revenue for the 2022 year. Now, let's go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room. Let's talk about having a 6 figure business. Sometimes I believe in different circles, even in circles among believers and Christians, it can be almost put down upon this idea of, talking about a 6 figure business, as if you are going after it from a marketing ploy or you're trying to almost even take advantage of people. But the reality is, there are many of us and there are many individuals that the idea of creating, sustaining, and having a 6 figure business truly could be transformational and life changing. And I want you to know that I am wildly passionate about believers that love the Lord, that look at their everyday life from a biblical lens and realizing that when you show up with really smart strategies and practices, and you have a business that is able to serve and help people, that you can absolutely create generational wealth. You can create profits. You can be a smart and savvy and wise business owner that's going to be able to use discernment. And a part of that journey means that you are going to be a more generous giver. You're going to be able to serve and help others more with the resources that your business is able to create. So, with that being said, let's go ahead and dive into the very number one mindset that I think is absolutely critical. You must know your expertise and your zone of genius. Now, that is really simple sounding. And the reality is, it's so simple. It's so simple that too oftentimes people overcomplicate it. They try to have 17 different levels. They try to have 17 versions of how they can help people before they really, really build an excellence or reputation for being able to know what that one core essential problem it is that they help people with. So when you are able to know that, and you've got a mindset of knowing what your expertise is and knowing what your passion and knowing what your zone of genius is, it makes everything else in creating that 6 figure business that much easier. It's easier for you to market. It's easier for you to elevate yourself as an influencer. It is easier for you to create content, and the list goes on and on. So that is the number one mindset shift, is you genuinely coming to full awareness and knowing what your zone of genius and what your area of expertise is. Number two, I want you to know that it is actually mathematically possible for you to have that 6 figure business. So, what you need to do is have the mindset that says, if I want that 6 figure business and beyond, multiple 6 figures and up, I've got to actually have a business model that mathematically makes it possible. Now, I am no mathematician by any stretch of the imagination, but if you take $100,000 and you divide that by 12, that is approximately $8,333 and change every month, which needs to technically be your monthly income. But you and I know that there are expenses and all of that. So I encourage you, round up, ask yourself, in order for you to have a sustainable business that's roughly ballpark figure 10 to $12,000 of monthly income, what is it that you have available to sell? What is it that you have available as a product or as a service? And what does that look like? What does that look like in order for you to visualize the trajectory that you want to be able to have for your year? So that number 2 mindset is that you've got to know it's possible, but I want you to also know that it's possible with kingdom math. Shay Bynes is an amazing, godly woman in business and in leadership that I adore. She's been on my podcast before, and one of the things that she talks about is kingdom math. And she talks about sometimes we as Christians put limits on what God can do. So I encourage you to not put limits. I encourage you to think boldly and to think big, but I also encourage for you to say this is possible and to genuinely wake up each and every day knowing it and believing it. All right. The third mindset shift that I want you to have is that you have to walk it out every single day that you're showing up in your business. You can't just December the 5th roll up out of bed and say, okay, what am I going to do to make my 6-figure year? All year long, you need to be showing up. You need to be in it to win it. You need to legitimately give yourself the best foot forward and be willing to say, if I want this business to thrive, if I want this 6-figure business, I need to walk it out. I have to show up. I have to do the work. And that's going to vary greatly depending on your business model. It's going to depend upon the distribution channels that you might use to actually build your audience, that you might use to get more visibility for who you are and what it is that you do. But you've got to walk it out. You can't be lazy. You've got to be intentional and you've got to be willing to show up and do the necessary work in order for you to make it happen. Number 4, this might seem super simple, but I want you to have the mindset that you need to invite people consistently to be a part of your opportunity. That can look so many different ways. It could be you leveraging your email list. It could be you taking advantage of stories, whether it be on Instagram, whether it be you leveraging the platform of TikTok. It could be you creating LinkedIn articles. It could be you creating consistent videos for YouTube. You don't have to do all of these various things I've just mentioned on social, but what you do have to do is you've got to take advantage of your voice, your messaging, and your ability to genuinely and consistently be inviting people to know that there is a way for you to come alongside and help them with what you have as your business offering. And lastly, but not least, number 5, stop pandering. I want you to know that you need to have a mindset. I genuinely believe in 2022, especially if you are a kingdom believer that wants to have a life of abundance, if you want to be generous, if you want to show up with excellence, you have to stop pandering to what you think is the right thing to say. And you need to, I genuinely believe, lean more into the inner convictions that God is giving you, and you need to show up. You need to not be afraid. You need to stop living in fear, and you need to stop worrying about stepping on people's toes. Hear me, hear me. If you love the Lord and you're showing up and you are trying to live your life from a biblical view of the world, I am here to tell you it's a problem if you're not stepping on toes. It's a problem if everything you say is seen as completely perfect by everyone that's hearing what you have to say. Does that mean that you're for everybody? No. But I want to encourage you with your mindset to get that 6-figure business. Stop pandering. Show up boldly, know exactly what you stand for. What are you for? Be willing to include that in your messaging, include that in your market, and know that it's going to resonate with the right people. So I hope that you are encouraged by these 5 mindset shifts that I know can help you have that 6-figure year, whether it be for the first time or for you to 10x or 3x the actual business that you already have to be able to thrive and to be able to continue to elevate what you're doing with your profits, with your revenue, and with that generational wealth that you are trying to create. If you have found this to be helpful, could you let me know? Shoot me an email to Heather at Sweet Tea Social Marketing. Let me know how this episode has actually encouraged or inspired you to show up, to commit to yourself, to up level, to say, who am I surrounding myself with in order for myself to get to the places that I want to go? God has allowed for me to build not one, but 2 businesses, 2 and beyond 6 figures. And I cannot wait to see what He's going to do in and through me in 2022. So I encourage you, thank you so much for listening. Let me know how this has served you. And if you want to reach out, if you want to connect, if you want to learn more about what it might look for us to even work together, feel free to just head to our website, sweetteasocialmarketing.com. You all take care, be blessed, and we look forward to seeing you in an upcoming episode.